Um, and yes, I was a young woman leading a team of all men older than me. So I had to learn how to influence without authority, to lead through
Mhm.
empathy, and also to influence despite and navigate these biases. Because I think that leadership is not about being the loudest voice in the room, it's about creating the space for others to shine. So
Karijeru je počela u konzultingu, već 18 godina je u Novartisu gdje je bila zadužena za stvarno različite segmente i tržišta i napravila je puno dobrih stvari. Pričat ćemo o tome zašto su prodaja i P&L odgovornost ključne za razvoj karijera, kako izgleda rad i život u drugoj zemlji, ali i o liderstvu, stresu, transformaciji, važnosti osobnih odnosa u velikim sustavima i mislim da će ovo biti jako zanimljivo i da vam se isplati ostati s nama. Sandra, welcome and thank you for coming to this podcast. I suggest we start from the start. You started your career in consulting at Accenture, and when you look back now, was that a good decision for your career?
Dobar dan and hvala. Thank you very much for the invitation, Ivana. So to your question, now looking back, I think it was a powerful decision because consulting, it gave me a strong foundation in structured thinking and problem solving. Also, the ability to navigate complexity with agility. So to develop this learning agility, also the exposure to diverse industries and fast-paced environments helped me to develop this resilience and adaptability, which have been essential throughout my journey. But I would say that the real turning point came when I moved to Mexico. I was very young; it was 23, 24 years old, and well, it was my first time managing a team in a culture different from my own. And yes, I was a young woman leading a team of all men older than me. So I had to learn how to influence without authority, to lead through
Mhm.
empathy, and also to influence despite and navigate these biases that we all have when no, you are exposed to a
I
different
saw that on your
culture.
LinkedIn profile. It was something in automotive industry, right?
Yes, this experience was in the automotive
And
industry.
how
I
long
had
was that project?
so in Mexico it was 2 years, almost 2 years.
Excellent. So you spent 2 years in Mexico.
Yes, it was a
Yes.
great experience.
So I have a similar background. I started in Big Four, and I now we really recommend to women and everybody basically to start their careers in some kind of consulting because they learn you how to work, right, and how to think,
Yes,
and after that you can basically work anywhere.
agree. It's a
Yes.
huge learning opportunity.
So I also saw on your LinkedIn profile you have been in Novartis now for 18 years, and it's really
Mhm.
a rich experience, full of achievements. What I see on your profile, but with that we see that also with other women who rose to the top, is that they had sales and P&L responsibility. That was
Mhm.
the ticket for the top. And what on which achievements and roles you think were drove you to the top? Let's say that way.
You know, I really enjoy these roles that combine P&L leadership with transformative impact because it really resonates with my purpose of building this leadership ecosystem to improve health. But you know, for me, what really matters is not just business results, but it's its people. So I think that having this opportunity to or these experiences to show how we shift mindsets, how we build cultures of accountability and empathy that helps individuals become more than they have ever imagined they could be. So this is I mean, of course, this is something that it doesn't happen overnight. No, it's a journey of learning, trial and error, and growing together. But it's about developing our leadership skills throughout this journey. And it's
And
something
how
that
are you different now as a leader compared to when you started, or maybe after 9 years?
So, I think that now I'm much more focused on being authentic, on being me. So in my early years, maybe I was more thinking about what's the mold that I should fit, in. Now I think I lead more from my authenticity, and now I know that my authenticity is my greatest strength. I think that I lead with more presence, with more empathy, and with deeper connection to purpose and to people. And because I think that leadership is not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about creating the space for others to shine. So, and these qualities for me, are important. So,
I think it also comes with experience and confidence that you can be authentic, right?
no, yes, of course. I mean, the leadership journey is a long life journey, and I would say that what makes a difference is not the experience, is the learning that you get from the experience, is how deep you go inside yourself. Because sometimes in business we are more focused on external challenges and how to overcome those challenges. But the more we grow internally, the greatest the impact that we have externally. And sometimes we underestimate the value of going in deep inside us.
Yeah, and in this period, what were the most challenging time from the leadership perspective? And I suppose that was the also the period where you learned the most.
Of course, you learn the most. We all learn the most about
In
from
tough
the
times.
books. Yes, in bad times. And so there was a time that while I was leading a business, of course, a P&L, a business unit, there was a high pressure environment. So there were very high expectations because that business or those launches were directly impacting the stocks of the company. So high pressure. At the same time, I was navigating personal transitions as I was becoming a mother. And there was a moment that I realized that I was completely disconnected from myself, that I was leading more based on how I thought top management were expecting me to lead, no? Not from who I truly was. This was very painful, of course, when you recognize that, because then you are not giving your best to your team. But that moment of discomfort was the one helping me understanding my patterns, some coming from the childhood. Sometimes, well, always, I would say those kind of beliefs or patterns are coming from our childhood. And since then, I've learned to recognize the signs of disconnection and return to myself. So that awareness has been, I would say, the most powerful tool that I have now.
Yeah.
So
Um, what we hear from many women leaders, they work on personal relationship with their people. They are very important to them, but also because of that, they are reluctant to lead larger teams. One manager told us very successful, but she said, "I want to lead teams up to 100 people. I want to be able to talk with everybody personally, and I think that's the best for me." And what was the size of teams you led? And how did your leadership style changed depending on the size of the team, and what size of the team do you prefer?
I mean, I've led many different kind of teams and sizes, and also cross country teams as I'm leading now. What I think is that as my teams grew, I shift from being like a hands-on leader, no, to one who really empowers others. So of course, at the beginning, it's more about coaching and leading on one-on-one. The
Mm-hmm.
more you grow, it's about focusing on what's the kind of culture that you want to create. And for me, it's focusing on creating a psychologically safe culture, and it's about aligning everyone around shared goals. And that's why I think that this shift moves from, let's say, from a control or more about control at the beginning when you start leading some a team, to more about enabling this autonomy, this collective ownership. It's about building the environment where people can feel safe to take risks, to speak up, to grow. So I think that the more you grow in the organization in terms of size of the team, the more our role should be focused on creating the conditions for others to thrive, especially during complex transformations. And yes, relationships remain at the heart of it, so for sure. But it's more about how to develop the whole system, the whole ecosystem, rather than just one-on-one impact.
So basically, it seems that now managing large teams should be easier because of this online communication.
Well, I mean, of course, the digital tools helped us drive more efficiency, in the business. But I think that we need face to face to build the culture. So we need to find the right balance uh, with virtual and face to face. Of course, I think that we need to give flexibility for our colleagues to choose when to work and from where.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a point that we need to all align what are those moments that face to face will help us co create better, innovate, and then build, of course, this connection that we need all as a team in order to create a bigger impact. No? So, yeah.
And you're now managing Croatia, Bosnia, and Slovenia, right?
Not Slovenia,
Not
Bosnia, Croatia, and Bosnia and Herzegovina.
okay. And do you? How often are you in Bosnia?
Well, it depends on the month, because there are some months that they come to
Uh huh.
Croatia, but we have, I would say, face to face kind of relationship almost every month. I mean, not summer, but I would say very frequent. Yeah.
How do you stand with stress? Is it better now when you are more experienced? And how does it impact you?
Well, I think coping with stress is also a lot about knowing yourself. So I think that, I mean, it's not about avoiding pressure sometimes, or workload. It's about how we manage our own energy. And I learned a lot about this from our CFO, that he was always talking about four pillars to manage stress, that it's mindset, movement, nutrition, and recovery. So, for example, I practice mindfulness to stay centered. I
Do you
pause,
meditate?
yes, in the morning. I mean, not every day, but for me, what works is in the early morning. I'm an early bird, so I do some meditation, but also throughout the day, sometimes it's important to pause and just observe, no, observe my thoughts, my emotions. Sometimes also it's before the meeting, what's the kind of impact that I want to have in this meeting? So I think about the people that I will meet there, and I also practice a lot of self compassion. No, so I'm self demanding, and self compassion. I think it's good to grow and to cope with the stress. I in regarding movement, I move daily, even if it's just a walk. Regarding recovery, I go to bed early. But above all, I stay connected also to my purpose. When I remember why I do what I do, the stress because becomes like more fuel than friction, right? So
Yes. I just saw one podcast recently, and they said that we everybody who is ambitious in their career should treat their body like athlete, basically, because we
Agree.
demand a lot from ourselves and from our bodies. So we should treat our bodies like athletes. Eat
Agree.
properly, sleep, rest, etc.
Yes.
So it makes sense, really.
Yes, no, and I mean, it's different, not to every person. That's why we really need to understand ourselves to define what's the routine that we need in our day to cope with everything. Yeah. Also with the
Okay.
family and the personal time. Yeah.
So you were at the beginning of your career. You were in Mexico. After that, is this your first international assignment in Novartis, or was there anything else also?
So, this is the first, Croatia is the first international assignment with the family. I'm a mom of two kids, and of course, this is a big decision, no?
How old
Especially
are they?
as a mother. 10 and 5. Yeah. So, and they were very young, yes, when we arrived. But I believe that I believe in leading by example, right? So I want my children to see that embracing change with courage can open beautiful new chapters, and Croatia has become home. I mean, we really feel at home. The warmth of people, the Mediterranean spirit, no, it's very familiar to us. Yes, and I mean, and it's been a journey, plenty of learnings for all of us, and we have found the balance that really works for us as a
But
family.
was that a tough decision or an easy one? Because you
I
moved
mean,
the family.
yes, no, we had clarity that we wanted to give an international experience to our kids. Of course, we didn't know what would be the options, but when we were told that Croatia was an option, of course, it was very easy to take this decision.
Your husband is also in Croatia.
I mean, he has a company in Spain, so he's commuting, but he can work remotely, so we can
Yes,
combine
that is
life.
really easier, much easier now to have this
Yes, agree, agree.
international careers in this online setup. So you are
Yes.
now 4 years in Croatia,
No, 2.5.
2.5.
Two
And
and a
what
half.
are some achievements that are you most proud of for now?
Many things because I mean, we are a great team. This is I'm very grateful about the team that we built, and I'm the thing that I'm most proud of is how we transformed our culture, fostering more openness, psychological safety, and the sense of a shared purpose. But beyond that, I've made every decision that I've made. I did that like thinking that as if my family and I were going to live in this country for the rest of our lives. So I work every day to help the Croatian healthcare system offer better quality of care to patients, and that's the legacy I hope to leave. No, a stronger system, and also an empowered people who believe in their ability to shape it.
Okay. We have this project for women in pharma business for like 5 or 6 years, and what it's very interesting for me. On the one side, we have women who studied medicines, stomatology, etc., and
Mhm.
they go to business. We then ask we ask them why did you choose business and not hospital, and what's really astonishing when they say that this way they have more impact than
Mhm.
if they had only their, I don't know, 100 patients. On the other side, also they have, it's not easy to study medicine and then go to business, right? And you don't have
Okay.
or skills to that business needs. On the other side, you don't have you have a business background, and you came to this industry, which is also not easy. How did you cope with that, and what's the driver for you?
Yes. So, um, I mean, my driver or my compass is impact. So it's true that I don't have a medical degree. I studied engineering, but I have a deep commitment to improve lives. So that's my driver.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned to surround myself with brilliant scientific minds. And my role is to ask the right questions, right? So I would say that women with business backgrounds bring strategic thinking, empathy, and also this strategic or systems view that are essential in healthcare. So at the end of the day, I think that we need diverse perspective to truly
Yes.
reimagine medicine and businesses.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's about diversity, you're right.
Yeah.
I was researching the data and I saw that Spain is above EU average and a little below Nordic countries in number of women on leadership positions, both in public and private sectors. What's the secret? Are women in Spain really equal?
Well, yes, it's true. Spain has made great strides thanks to progressive policies and also a cultural shift towards inclusion, and it took a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I think equality is not just about numbers; it's about mindset, and we still have some work to do here, because especially in breaking unconscious biases and ensuring
Mm-hmm.
equal opportunities at every level. And true equality means for me that women can lead without having to conform to outdated models of leadership. It means being valued for who we are and not who we are expected to be. And sometimes the most challenging topics for inclusion are not the visible differences, are the ones that we don't see, in the mindset, these beliefs and this bias. Yeah.
Did you see more bias in Croatia?
Not really, or maybe I'm not aware of, or maybe I'm not putting attention to them.
Maybe you just ignore it. Yes,
Yes, no,
that's
and in fact,
sometimes the best strategy.
no, but in fact, in our case, in the Adriatics leadership team, we have majority by far of women. I mean, we want men in the leadership team, so in our case, it's the opposite challenge.
Yes, I met Natasha from Sarajevo.
Yeah, good, good.
Yes.
Yes, important.
We talked about diversity. We all know that diversity brings better results, but this is also important for companies that have women customers, because women will better understand this customer base. When we look top pharma companies, women are still underrepresented, which is really not good for this industry if it wants to better serve women's health. So, how is Novartis doing in this area of women's health?
No, women's health has been historically underrepresented. You're right. We are committed to changing that through research, advocacy, and also innovation for sure. So we are investing in areas like cardiovascular health in women, oncology, autoimmune diseases, and also we are working on the access to care. But I would say that beyond the science, what is also important is that we are also working to ensure that women's voices are heard in shaping healthcare solutions, and are heard from the beginning, from the design of the clinical trials. Because understanding women's health starts with this listening, and listening in the early stages.
Yes. What do you think of healthcare systems in Europe? What needs to be changed? We have very we are all very old. Our demographic picture is not very good. So the financing is doesn't have a good future. What needs to change?
Yeah, no, this is a big challenge shared I would say, in the whole Europe. Healthcare systems as we have them are not sustainable in the long term because of this chronicity. There is a high burden in the healthcare. I think that the future, and of course, this requires like systemic changes that are brave ones, right? So it's not an easy move. What I think is that the future of healthcare must be more collaborative. Collaborative, I'm thinking about every single stakeholder in the healthcare system, also private companies, because we are part of the healthcare system. We should also contribute to the sustainability of the healthcare system. Otherwise, there is no system for anyone. And so this public-private collaboration, this is one. Second, I think that we need to go more digital, and we also need to go more human. So we need to move from reactive care to proactive and preventive models. And that means embracing data, breaking silos. It means really putting patients at the center, But it also means rethinking the way we work. It's about building these ecosystems that I was mentioning to you. So co-creating solutions, private and public, and with other stakeholders that maybe we are not considering. And the good news is that the pandemic with COVID showed us that what is possible, because when we unite around a common goal, we can and we must keep this momentum. So this is my view about this. Yeah.
Okay.
But not an easy journey, of course.
Okay, and finally, quick questions. You and your kids, do you prefer Spanish or Croatian coast?
Well, this is a difficult choice because Spain is my home, but come on, I mean, Croatian coastline has stolen our heart. So now I would choose Croatian one.
When you are in Croatia, I have to choose Croatia. What places do you like in Croatia on the coast?
This past long weekend we were in Hvar. Oh my God, such a beautiful island. But every island is different, has its own uniqueness. Before arriving to Croatia, I lived in Malaga for a couple of years, and I was always thinking, once I retire, I will retire in Malaga. Now I think that once I will retire, I will be in the Croatian coast for
Excellent.
sure.
Favorite Croatian dish? Do you cook?
Yes, I cook. I mean, not that much, but I cook. I want to learn peka. Peka is something that I need to learn how to cook it.
Yes, excellent dish.
Yeah.
Biggest difference between Croatian and Spanish people?
I've seen that there is much more connections than I thought before coming, because both cultures have this deep warmth and this community, right? I think maybe Spaniards are immediately more expressive, maybe than Croatians, but again, I've seen many more commonalities than differences. For sure.
I really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you very much, Sandra, for joining us. Pozdrav našim gledateljima i slušateljima.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. Hvala vam puno. And yes, we keep in touch. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.